If you are living your life based on what others think about you, then you're not living a life, because those people are thinking about what other people think about them. So
Wow. Okay, that's very love that. Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to Mental Fitness with Neha, the workout for your mind. On today's episode, we have with us Mr. Siddharth Rajshekar. He is an acclaimed lifestyle entrepreneur and a sought after digital media strategist who has worked with global brands and celebrities. He's also now an author and has recently launched his book, You Can Coach. So, hi Siddharth sir, and thank you so much for being here today. Firstly, a big congratulations for your book, and it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
thank you so much, Neha. Glad to be here and add value to your audience.
Firstly, so one of the main aspects of my podcast is I find it very interesting to understand how people got into what they do right now, in like how they got into
Yes.
their line of work. You describe yourself as a musician who turned a digital marketing geek, and now you're also an author. So, what
Yes.
is your story, and how did you start?
Uh, yes, good question. Thank you for asking. And for me, it's an Alice in Wonderland story. I always say that every time when I do a podcast interview, because I never planned to be in this space. What I'm doing right now. I dropped out of college. I scored 28% in maths, and even till today, I don't have any degree next to my name. I'm just a non-graduate. From a typical Indian education standpoint, I don't have any qualifications, but I did my diploma in sound engineering in 2001. And luckily, because I was the right place at the right time with the right people, asked the right questions, and I was the right environment, I was able to grow really well, and I scored 92% in that course. And I got my first job immediately when I completed that course, and I was just 19 years old. So without having a degree, I got my first job, and I was teaching people who are twice my age. And I used to teach them how to make music, how to record stuff on a laptop. And many of my close friends are working in the movie industry and stuff like that. So my journey took a slightly different turn after 3 years of teaching music production. I went on to make ringtones for mobile phones. I was working in Dubai Internet City for 3 years, and I used to make music for games, music for mobile. Grew my way up the corporate ladder. Was in the corporate world for 5 years. If I include even this 3 years of work experience of teaching, 8 years of work experience working as an employee. 2011, I lost my job. That's when I decided to get into digital marketing. And then from
Okay.
2011 till 2018, I ran a full-fledged digital marketing agency with 35 employees working for me. Did some great work projects for a lot of people, but I was not fulfilled because after paying taxes, after paying for the team's infrastructure, as an entrepreneur, I was not able to take much money back home. So I wanted to build a new business model, which was involved around products and not services. So I moved and shifted gears. So in a nutshell, last 3 years has been a I would say 10 years of experience. All of that, the fructification
Yeah.
happened in the last 3 years, and was able to take my business to, we are building a multi-million dollar knowledge business with over 11,000 customers, 11,000 students in my community, and many of them are creating waves now, and including you.
Yeah.
You're also going through this whole
That's
podcasting and video journey, which is impacting other people's lives, and
That's
that's
an
been the journey
amazing
for me.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a very like everything you did at different stages of your life all kind of summed up and played some role in what you are doing right now,
Yeah,
like your
it's all
digital
connecting the
marketing.
dots. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to connect the dots. Like if I had not done sound engineering, then and if I had not done video editing, then I would not know how to create my own courses.
yeah.
Or so everything is all connected, and I was just it just had to manifest at the right time.
Love the synchronicity and the timing. Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, so actually, so you also have a very clear purpose and mission, which you kind of introduce yourself as, which is that to have a million people, to help a million people achieve the lifestyle of freedom.
Yes.
So, what is the importance of having like this clarity and a mission statement in people in one's life, according to you?
The mission usually drives, it's like the fuel of whatever you do. Like people who are not clear about their mission, their entire life is ad hoc. They just keep
Yeah.
getting allured by the next shiny object that's there. Once you have clarity in your mission, then you'll be able to say a lot of no's, because having clarity in the mission will also give you the ability to decide what is not in alignment with the mission. So even in my community, when people come in, the first step is they need to craft a mission statement. Like
Yeah.
my mission statement is to help 1 million people become live a lifestyle of freedom by creating a new breed of teachers. So like maybe in your case, your mission could be to help 100,000 people become great at what they do, using digital or whatever. I mean, everybody has, whether it's a health
Yeah.
mission or a wealth mission or a money mission or a relationship mission. The mission statement is the fuel, and from there only everything else will sprout.
Yeah, it's like the starting point that gives you direction. Yeah, okay,
Correct.
love that. So, for someone who's maybe 18, 19 years old right now, they don't exactly know, like, what is their mission statement. How do you begin this journey and, like, how do you start?
See, it's okay not to have clarity when you start. Like, this mission statement of mine got clear only after many
Yeah.
experiences. So I think if you're 18, 19, don't worry too much about the mission. You add more to your experiences. Like, I think all those new experiences that I added in my life, that made my mission more clear. Though I had some clarity, but if you ask me, when I was 18 years old, if you asked me the mission at that point of time, my mission would have been to make some kick-ass music. Okay, and that was my only
Yeah.
mission at that point of time. So the mission evolves, but don't be too stuck up on, okay, I need to find that mission, I need to find my purpose in life. No, let that flow. But the key here is, if you're 18, 19, and if you're like at that stage where you want to do something really awesome in this world, I think you start off by thinking about what new skills you can acquire for yourself, because skill sets is what will help you, will
Yeah.
put you in places where you can demonstrate those skills, so you can create new experiences for yourself, career experiences, professional experiences, even
Yeah.
personal experiences. And as you're building these new skills, then you can start to connect all of them to a big problem that you want to solve, because the current education system is all based on memorization, volume of information, cramming up your head with info, so that one day in an exam you can go and vomit that in an exam, and who's able to retain on that day is going to get the seat or wherever. I mean, that whole thing, I'm not for it. Whereas if you look at digital coaching, it is not about volume of information, it's about solving a problem. So you, through this podcast, you are solving a problem, you're giving clarity to so many other people who want to discover what they really want to do in their life. Okay, and you're bringing on experts who have achieved something. So this is the approach that you need to take. If you're a student, build skill sets, add more experiences, and think about what problem you want to solve, and the money will find its way in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So I like the skill set based approach because it's actually giving you something to do and you're not overthinking and analysis
exactly.
paralysis as people call it. Yeah.
True.
Makes sense. Okay. So also in your course, when we start off, you tell people to hear this audio called "The Strangest Secret" by Earl Nightingale. Really, like personal development has been a big part of your life. So,
Hmm.
what has been the role of being mentally fit and keeping the importance of keeping your mind fit as well in your journey?
Yeah, very good question. See, everything is about input, process, and output. Like everything, like our human body, we eat food, it processes, and then we have the energy to do work. And even the mind also works like that. So what you feed into the mind will give you an output. People are watching the news or reading newspaper and stuck in that whole negative loop of things. Even on WhatsApp, there's endless forwards these days where there's something or some negativity or other.
Yeah.
So the first step is to guard yourself of what is going in, because what goes in is what will come out. So I got to know about the Strangest Secret thing from my mentor Vic. So he said you listen to it every day for next 30 days. So I thought, okay, it's no brainer. If he's asking me to do something, why should I question it? Let me try it out. So I did it. I used to listen to it for 2 days, twice in a day for first 90 days without a break, and I saw a lot of my thought patterns started to shift. Like instead of consuming going on Netflix or checking on endlessly scrolling on Instagram, I was I noticed something's changing in me as a person. Like my thought process changed, the way I would respond to situations would change. I would be reactive before, but now I'm more proactive. Or even if a situation happens in life, uh, rather than reacting, I would respond the right way with a more cool head and understanding. So all of these things really helped. Just in a nutshell, to reestablish this point, our brain is like a receiver and transmitter. It has both, like a radio frequency. Okay, so when you're listening and you're programming your mind to what you want, and you're listening
Yeah.
to something like Strangest Secret every day, imagine you're tuning into a radio frequency where you're going to listen, you're going to get ideas from some place. All you have to do is just listen to those whispers and take action on those ideas. That's exactly how I built my business. It's
Yeah,
just about tuning in. Yes.
that's also, I think, why a lot of people read a lot of personal development books because it's like having a conversation with the author, and
True.
that is much better than scrolling
Yeah.
Instagram. Input, yeah, wise
Absolutely.
speaking. Okay, so one thing which I feel stops a lot of people from, doing what they actually want to do is the fear of judgment. And I've
Mm.
faced it personally. I'm sure anyone who's done anything today has faced it.
Yes.
So what are, some of the struggles you faced initially when you got into this world of online coaching? I'm sure there must have been fear of judgment. And how did you actually overcome it? Yeah.
Hmm. Very good question. See, for me, I'm glad that I was in situations in my childhood where I was able to overcome fear of judgment from a younger age. I used to play cricket for the school team,
Yeah.
and team game, lot of and I was in a pretty good, I played for many years, and playing with rival teams, being really like pushed at, and you have to face those situations, right, even in the game. So I had a good taste of that in my initial days, especially like sledging and stuff, in school level. That has used to happen. When I went into college, again, most of my friends were my seniors. So while my own classmates used to get bullied and ragged and stuff in college, because I had that experience, I was able to build a rapport with people who are much older than me. So again, I never really bothered about what they said. Then I failed my 12th. That was a pretty tough situation there. Family members thought, okay, this guy is just another failure. What? Not my parents, but other members. Then, but I proved myself after 1 year, and then later on, I lost my job. Same situation. Then when I got into digital coaching, I was transitioning from services business to this business. So there was opposing views from people. Why you have built this business for so long? Why can't you just stick on this and grow this? Why are you
Yeah.
starting something new? That's always going to be there. So the only thing is you have to think about uh, think about it in this way. Uh, like when I look back at my life, those people who had criticized me, later on they changed, saying that I knew that you will do this. I knew that you'll be
Okay.
successful. So the same people who will criticize you, they will applaud you when you become successful. So just don't. I mean, if that's the way that I look at it, there will always be an opposing view for a new idea. Yes.
Mhm. You just go
The
for it
key is
anyways.
to just stay on the path, and you don't have to be right. Like I've failed in many things, and even if something does not work, it's just okay to be open and transparent and just say that just that it did not work. Okay. So
Yeah.
I think that was the key factor. It is about just being going with the flow and not worrying too much about what other people think, because if you are living your life based on what others think about you, then you're not living a life, because those people are thinking about what other people think about them. So
Wow. Okay. That's very, love that. Okay. Right. Let's talk about your book now, which is You Can Coach. It aims
yes.
at redefining the current educational system. So what is one key? Of course, I would encourage all our listeners right now to go and buy the book and actually read it. But if there's one key message which every youngster you wish would take away from your book, what would that message be?
The message is the current education employment system is broken, and the only way we can fix it is by creating a new breed of teachers. And
Okay.
these teachers and mentors need to be implementers, not just teachers who are talking, who have never done it. Like, for example, with all due respect to teachers in some of the B schools of India, they've never run a business. Okay, but they teach business.
Yeah.
But it's better to learn business from an entrepreneur in the
Yeah.
practical life. So my core message is, if you can be, I'm not telling everybody, if you watching this or listening to this can become a mentor who's an implementer, where you can serve others, and if millions of us do this, we will transform the education system, we'll transform the employment system, people will be more happy what they're doing, and that will create a shift in our society. Yeah.
Very powerful message. Love that. So also, similar along the lines of your book only, and you said that this one line which said by Mark Twain really inspired you and stuck with you, which
Yeah.
is that you never let schooling interfere with your education. I think that's a concept which not many people get because you go
Hmm.
to school to study. That's what the mindset is.
Yes.
So what exactly does this line mean? If you can decode it.
Yeah, in simple, you got to be a lifelong learner. Learning does not stop at school. In fact, my grandpa told me this for the first time when I was 8 years old. So he said, whether you're inside school or outside school, you got to keep learning. So that is the core message. But having said that, if you look at Alvin Toffler, he says that the illiterate of the 21st century are not those who cannot read and write. The illiterate of the 21st century are those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn quickly.
Okay.
So that is what the actual core message of this statement is. It is not about how much knowledge you have. It's about how you can
Yeah.
also unlearn fast. Yeah.
Okay, that's very powerful. So you also have had the privilege of working with a lot of great people like Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy. By the way, Tony Robbins is one of my biggest
Yeah.
inspirations. So what is like the one key lesson that you've learned from working with all these amazing people? Like one, yeah, that's the question.
Yeah, the key lesson is they have carved their path in such a way that they are known for one thing. Like if you look at Jack Canfield success principles, Brian Tracy is about productivity and stuff. Tony Robbins is all about massive action, and now he's moving his message more towards fulfillment and things, but it's again
Yeah,
all out massive action using NLP and things like that. So each one of them have a specialty, and they are known for that one thing. So Tony Robbins means unleash the power within. Okay.
yeah,
Brian Tracy, eat that frog. Jack Canfield, chicken soup with the soul success principles. You look at Dr. DeMartini, again from the movie The Secret, is about evolving human potential. Each one is like a master, and they've gone deep into one subject. So I think that's a common thread I see of the legends in this personal development space is they have carved out a micro niche, and they are known for one thing.
so the power of focus. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you also heavily credit mentors as a part of your journey, as you just mentioned mentor Vic in the starting. So
Mm.
what is the importance of having a mentor in one's life as you're progressing through your own journey?
See, a mentor can shorten your learning curve by a lot. Otherwise, it's like you can go on YouTube and you can swim there for hours together and get even more confused. Okay.
Oh,
But like how Drona was to Arjuna, or how Krishna was to Arjuna, he wanted to quit. But then he had to hear somebody like Krishna who told him, hey, what you're thinking is foolish. Just follow this. Okay. Okay. I'll tell you all of this, but then now you decide what you want to do. So a mentor is someone you should feel like surrendering to. And when I picked my mentor, I didn't pick my mentor based on how much money he was making, but I was picked him based on his value system, what he values. For him, it was more family, spirituality. I could resonate with his deeper core values as compared to just the external, results. And surrendering to a mentor is important. I mean, you need to take it to the finish line. If you look at any art, like since I'm a
yeah,
musician, I also know when I was learning keyboard, I had to just follow what my master said, and I had to do those practice of scales and chords, and then it worked for
yeah,
me. So there is some spiritual connection between master and student, and this is not
yeah,
just now. It has been there from
true,
time immemorial. So from
true,
the Gurukula days, if you want to say it. So I think finding a mentor is important. Pick a mentor. You don't have to have one mentor. You can have one
yeah,
mentor in one area of your life.
yeah,
But if you pick one, just do whatever they say. Don't jump around like one butterfly from one thing to the other, and take
yeah.
five ideas from five different people, and it'll become a big mess otherwise. Just stick to one system.
Surrender completely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
surrender to one system and take it to the finish line before you go to the next. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. So obviously you're a lot into self improvement, spirituality. So personally speaking, what do you do to keep yourself mentally fit?
So my spiritual grounding comes from my childhood days. I used to read the Gita and stuff
Oh,
many years
okay.
back. I used to conduct discussion groups with students, and we used to like brainstorm and debate on the verses and stuff. It was good fun. Uh, so yes, but as far as my daily practice is concerned, I do japa meditation. I do the Hare Krishna mantra, a chant in the morning. I on tulsi beads, and besides that, I'm also open to I'm looking at what others. There are so many new age technologies and methods and meditation things that are there. I would say core Indian practices that have been repackaged and come back from the Western world with different
Okay.
names. Okay,
Okay.
so even that I'm aware of what all that happens, but from a core thing, this is what I follow. Yeah.
Nice to know that. Right. So coming to a very special segment of the show, this is something called the happy place. Okay. So I think that each of us have like either a person, a place, a ritual, something that we go to when we are in an emotional low place. So
Yeah,
what is your happy place?
it's playing with both my sons.
Okay.
Yeah, and kissing them.
Nice.
That's my happy place.
It just lights you up immediately.
Yep.
Okay. Right. So we're actually at the last question of the show, and the question is: so, what is? Imagine if all your life experiences till today have taught you one thing. What is one mental fitness truth that you live by?
um, to have more than you got You've got to become more than you are. It's a Jim Rohn quote, but I love that quote. So that one message is keep improving, keep evolving. Yes.
Be a lifelong learner, as going
Back
back
to
to
that
the.
same message. Yes.
Okay. So, okay, so before we wrap up, I just wanted to ask, so the viewers and listeners who are seeing this right now, where can they, hear you, access you, get your book, etc.? If you could just say it once.
First place is I would love to invite you to my YouTube channel. You can search me up. I share
I
a
will
lot of
tag
in
it.
depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tag it there because I share a lot of in depth concepts. It's not just like some 3-4 minute videos. I do a lot of research before I roll anything out, and there are a lot of case studies there. So of my students who got results. So you can check it out. That's the first place. Second place, I also have a podcast which is called the Freedom Business Podcast. Which is doing pretty well, and it's a solo podcast. I don't do too many interviews, but I do probably 3-4 hours of research and crunch it into 15 minutes, 10 minutes. It's like very, very value packed stuff. So just you can follow me there. And I think besides that, yeah, my book is on youcancoach.com. If you could just go to youcancoach.com, you can pick it up in any of the stores, Amazon, Flipkart. And just wanted to tell you that uh, just 2 days back, we hit the international #1 bestseller. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So on
Congratulations.
Amazon.com. So
Congratulations.
really want to thank all the people that helped me make this happen. It's not just me doing it, but the entire team. So yeah, taking India to the world. Yeah, proud moment for me to take India to the world. Yes.
And that, yeah, and having seen your podcast and your YouTube channel, I can attest to the fact that it does add a lot of value. So everyone, please go check that out. And I'm really, this conversation, I'm sure everyone's going to learn a lot of things. Personally, to me, it has added a lot of value. So
Thank you.
thank you so much for being on this podcast. And yeah, it was amazing to have a chat with you.
Thank you so much.